So, we've just had huge news. Randolph brought his own UK grading company. We've heard rumours the past couple of months floating around Twitter and other various Pokemon groups, but today he has finally announced Ace Grading. So, this video, we're going to look through all the key points he's mentioned, what they're doing differently. We're going to look at the slab, we're going to look at the labels, talk about the grading process, turnaround times and the prices. And we'd like to hear your thoughts. So, let's get into it.
Hello guys, and as we said in the introduction, today we're going to be taking a look at Randolph's new grading company, Ace Grading, where he's teamed up with the guys over at Grading Gem. And as you can see, you've got all three of us here today.
What's up, guys?
How's it going?
And what we're going to be doing is taking a look at the key points and stuff that he mentions. We're not going to watch the whole video. We're guessing a lot of you have already watched that. So we'll quickly skim through to all the points that we want to talk about, discuss them between ourselves, and then hopefully you guys let us know in the comment section down below what you guys think. And if you think there'll be a success, I think the community's quite torn up from what I've seen on Twitter about what they think of stuff. So yeah, let's get into the actual footage, and yeah, we'll see you in a second. Yeah, so Ace Grading, the Ace Grading logo. James, what do you think? We've got it up on the screen. What are your first thoughts?
I quite like it. It's plain and simple. You've got the A and then a shield, because I feel like their main point later on in the video is their security. So I feel like the shield is representing that. And I quite like that. Nice, plain and simple.
I am a big fan of it. Nice and simple. It stands out to you. The only thing that stands out to me that I'm not the biggest of fan is how the ring that goes through the A and around the shield is not fully connected.
Well, to me, it kind of looks like it's representing a like a razor leaf sort of attack. That's what it's like, the slice of a razor leaf.
In the games, it has that animation, doesn't it?
Did not think of that. That is actually changed.
You know, if they have thought of that, or is that just purely coincidence?
Yeah.
I quite like it. It's got quite a premium look to it. Like, you know, the black and white with, I know it's got a bit of colour in there, but predominantly black and white. It's got the A, the shield, and then Ace in big writing. It's, you know, I think logos are always something that it's personal preference, isn't it? Not everyone's going to like a logo. Company obviously like it. You know, what have we saw with logos? We've saw pink frogs. We've saw, you know, Beckett's logo is just a bee with like the feather round.
In lion heads.
Yeah, you know, there's all sorts of logos. All different types and different companies have different logos. So I don't think everyone's going to be pleased with a logo, but, you know, to me, if they're going for this premium brand, then that logo sort of starts it off right, just in my eyes anyway. Nice, simple, like you said, nice and simple, black and white. You know, I like it.
I think one of the things I was surprised at, because obviously we know Graded Gem are a part of this with Randolph, how much work they've done, like the community with PSA, sending off to PSA, that they have gone the complete opposite design to how PSA would. Cause PSA is literally the three letters that are just on the slabs is now full showing of like an actual logo, but these seem to have gone completely different route, which I expected it to be on the same line as PSA.
Well, talking of Graded Gem, they put out a video a couple of months ago, and they said that PSA's king and no UK grading company would work. You know, we can't forget that. So it's strange to see them cut ties with PSA to go to a UK grading company, and I think it's nice that it doesn't represent PSA though, because we've got so many UK grading companies that have that PSA look slab, PSA look logo. It is nice to have not a PSA rip-off, because they could have easily gone down that route of, this is what we know, let's copy them, whereas they've gone, like you said, full circle and completely opposite. So it's an interesting point. Don't forget, they did say no UK grading company would work.
Do you think maybe they've seen how well some of the others UK companies have been progressing in the past couple of months, and they've thought, actually, this could be it? Or do you think when they mentioned that they had it as an idea, but didn't think it would take off, and then obviously seen how people have been like reacting to the UK grading scene?
Possibly.
Could be a bit of both. Could be a bit of both, because you have got the PSA wait times, because that would properly affect their business if people aren't submitting to PSA because of these UK grading companies, because people don't want to wait the wait times. I know a lot of people have gone to CGC as well. That is going to have an effect on their business. So are they teaming up with Randolph, who's a big name in Pokemon? You know, not everyone. I think with Randolph, he's a strange character in the Pokemon community. Like, he's very split opinions. Like, there's a lot of people that don't like him, but then don't not like him. Like, he's just sort of one of them that's in the middle. He's not like, oh, I really dislike Randolph, or I really love Randolph. There will be people that, like, you know, love him, or people that don't like him, as there is with everyone. But he's one of them characters where there's a lot of split opinions on him, and that has sort of followed on onto Twitter as well, with, like, you know, why is he doing it? Why is Grady Gem doing it, and why is Randolph doing it? Because obviously he's a big in his music career as well. So it's do you know what I mean? It's very different.
Yeah, I think it'd be like a complete different reaction. Like Leonard decided to make a UK grading company, just a grading company in general, to try and compete, and I think it'd be a different reaction from if he did it, or if Unlisted Leaf. But does that drop down to, like, going back to like his subscribers or his following?
I don't know. I think the main thing we need to do, though, and I think what everyone needs to do, is we need to scrutinise these the same way we would as every other UK grading company, just because they have a
big
director
name behind them.
Yeah, who's pushing them on, who's big in the community. If a random, like, say if me and you, us three, did a company and we did exactly all these points, you know, if it wasn't Randolph doing that intro, it was one of us, and we come up with this video, would it be scrutinised differently to how everyone else is perceiving it?
No,
that's the question, and that's what we need to remember when we're breaking this video down.
Also, like, it's not us coming out and we're not bashing these guys in any way, shape, or form. It's more constructive criticism and just what we prefer, what we don't like about something, what we do like. It's the exact same as we do in every grading video.
Exactly. So, with that said, let's skip ahead to the first point we want to talk about. So, be right back, guys.
And it's called Ace Grading. Yes, I know many of you have been, chatting about this. It's been a rumor that's going around the community, but I can finally say Ace Grading is here. So, what is Ace Grading? Essentially, Ace Grading is a brand new third-party card authentication and grading service. However, it's a modernized approach, and I believe is going to be a revolutionary service to the community, especially right here on my home turf in the UK, but also globally. So for the past year and a half, the Pokemon card community, and actually the collectibles community as a whole, has seen exponential growth. There's been some highs, but there's also been some lows. We started brainstorming, and actually we believe we've brought the best product in grading. And this is not a flash in the pan. This is not a, let's do this to, make a bit of money. This is serious. This is something that we believe will be here for the next 50 plus years. That's what we've invested for. That's what we've envisioned. And that's what I believe we can do with this company. And that all comes down to who I am as a collector, as a hobbyist myself. I believe that these items that we cherish, that we truly love, even myself, I've got so many cards in my collection that I just cherish, memories that are tied to collecting when I was a youngster with my mum, my brother, etc. And I've still own these cards today. So when you get your card graded, it's not just to, preserve the quality. It's not just to increase the value. It's also to encapsulate those memories. These great memories that you have. It kind of locks it away and gives you something that you can show off as a trophy piece or something that you can cherish and say, this is mine. Look at what I've got. So with that being said, we've taken this beyond just grading the cards. Like, grading the cards is the first and foremost most important thing, as well as proper authentication. However, beyond that, you want to show this off. So the case is important, the label is important, the actual process is important, the customer, it's all important from top to bottom, and that's what we believe in. As collectors, we believe in that. So that's our approach and my approach throughout this entire process, delivering what I would want to have. So maybe I'm getting ahead of myself a little bit. There's some very, very exciting things to come in this video and beyond, by the way. Ace Grading, check us out everywhere. Every social media page that exists, we'll be on it, putting out content, communicating with you guys, being as transparent as possible. That's what we believe in. So first and foremost, you'll be glad and happy to know that I am not in charge of grading at Ace Grading. Yes, my philosophy is there. Yes, my my core beliefs are there, but I don't believe that I am the person to head the actual authentication and grading side of the business, okay? No, I know my strengths, I know what I'm good at, and I know what I'm not so good at. What we have done is we have worked with talented people and the best in their industry to bring you this project. So on our website and in more videos to come, there's gonna be a huge breakdown of our grading scale in depth. If you wanna go and check.
I'm just gonna pause it there. I think he's brought up two, maybe three good points there. One being he's not going to be doing any of the grading, which I thought could have had a major influence with that. So I've seen quite a lot of his videos, and he does a lot of like pre-grades before he sends them off. I also think another good point with, he mentioned they have worked with a lot of qualified, or did he say?
Use the word professional.
Professional. I know, like, I've already seen through this, so we'll get onto that point when it comes up to it. And then he's also mentioned just the point. What was the last point he's just mentioned?
The money
point. So let's talk about the money side.
Well, if he's saying it's not about the money, now let's think about the two main factors behind the company, which is Randolph, who is probably already a millionaire from his music, from his YouTube career, and anything like that. And you've also got the people at Graded Gem, who I don't know, they do hundreds of thousands of cards, so they had a pretty smooth business going, so they don't have to do it for the money because they're both already set. If them pair would both just carried on doing what they was doing, there wasn't going to be short of a few quid. Do you know what I mean? So it's not like some people that have just started it up to try and take advantage of everything that's going on. So of course you've got to believe that it's not for the money because he doesn't need the money.
Yeah.
So
and
it can't be for the money.
It's a huge hobby of his. He's he's shown off his collections multiple times from when he was a kid. He's used PSA for years and years, and obviously knows the struggle at the minute. Can't even get his own cards without paying ridiculous prices. So why not bring something where he's got the ability to give back to the community and get everyone on board? So I think that is probably the least of his worries, the money side, I think.
Yeah.
Fair play to him for it. Like you said, there's a lot of people in the community who are just in it to make a couple of quid here and there, because that's the way Pokemon is going at the minute.
Yeah, it is. What was the next point?
The next point.
Professionals.
No, the next point was that Randolph is not going to have a
part of the grading.
Yeah, a part of the grading.
Now, what I'm going to say here is going to completely conflict with what I've just said about 30 seconds ago, where it's not for the money. But, right, he's got a lot of his fingers in a lot of pies. He's not going to want to spend his time charging £10 a card. Do you know what I mean? He's not going to want to sit in a warehouse grading a card at £12 an hour wage. He's not going to want to do that, is he? So He's going to be like, you know, it's his name behind it. He's going to fund everything and fund the operations and have the ideas, but he's not going to be the one to sit there and grade the cards. He's got too much on his plate to do that.
But then at the same time, he's not the. It'd be also he doesn't feel like he's qualified enough to do it. Like, I know we can all look at a card and say, "Oh, we think it's going to be this, we think it's going to be that," but there's a difference between thinking and knowing.
Yeah, 100%.
Like you said, going back to he's got what he mentions. He has his strengths in other areas. I know he mentions further down the video he will be doing a lot of the social side, which we all know he's brilliant at. So I'm looking forward to seeing who he has brought on board though for the grading. I like to see their backgrounds and the other stuff. I know we've seen some different backgrounds for graders over the past couple of months.
He does say later on in the video.
Oh, does it?
Backgrounds they have, yeah.
Okay, I might have missed that, but we will get there eventually when we shut up talking between ourselves. The other points. So it was the grading scale. They are going to show us
going into the grading scale. Yeah.
Yeah. So what we're going to do, we're going to watch this clip, then we'll talk about the point that I couldn't think of anymore. My mind had gone blank. So we'll watch this clip, and then we'll have a little discussion about it.
It goes from 1 being the worst to 10 being gem mint and the best. However, there are no 0.5s, there are no half grades. We believe as collectors at our core that the grade should be the grade. And also, if I'm being honest, if I'm collecting cards, I'm not drawn to a 0.5. I want that 10, I want the 9, I want the 8. We have that confidence that a gem mint 10 is a gem mint 10. A 9.5 isn't gem mint, it's confused, it's between the two. We're confident in our grading. For myself and the rest of the team at Ace Grading, everything stopped, or the whole project stops here if we can't deliver a good enough product. That's why we've had 3 months of continuous and dedicated training with professional card graders. And these are people who are pure hobbyists. They've got experience in cards, in collecting, and also in real life situations where quality and eye for detail is treasured. For example, we have people at Ace Grading who used to work for high-end car companies, quality control and quality assurance. We have people who dedicate their entire lives to painting and designing miniatures and making sure that they're the best that they can be. So combining all of these areas of expertise plus our knowledge and our leadership of grading, Ace Grading will be the #1 destination for card graders to develop these skills and to deliver a product to the entire nation. More information regarding our grading scale and more of the specifics coming soon. Of course, authentication and grading is the first and foremost most important factor of a grading service. However, we don't believe it stops there. We believe that in the day and age that we're in right now, a grading company and Ace Grading needs to be modern. It needs to be something that you can be proud to own. It needs to be something that you can show off to your friends, your family, and the rest of the world. These cards and these collectibles that we own and cherish mean a lot to us. They're worth a lot, not just in monetary value, but mostly and mainly in what they mean and the value to you as an individual, the sentimental value and just the joy that this card, provides to its owner. These cards are trophy pieces and they deserve to be shown off and they deserve to be presented to the world as just that, trophy pieces, things that mean a lot to us.
I'm going to stop it there before we get into the design.
Right. This isn't Randolph, this is Joe Bloggs and his grading company set up down in Aberystwyth, right? What they say is, right, we're not experienced graders. What we do, we paint miniatures and we used to build cars. And?
Yep.
We've had comments in all our previous videos. What is a stonemason? How are you qualified to grade a card? You are a Royal Marine, ex-Royal Marine. How are you qualified to grade a card? You're a jeweler. You're a PPI claim specialist. You're so on and so forth, So there's 2 ways to take this. If you're scrutinising all the other UK grading companies for being what they are and living their lives, then you need to scrutinise these for being painting miniatures and building cars which are built on machines anyway, unless you're working for Rolls-Royce, which is all handmade. So if you're going to slate them, slate these as well. But then, where was I going? I've gone off on a tangent. If you're going to slate them, slate these, but then no one else, like, until you've graded cards, you're not a qualified grader. Like, PSA aren't going to say to you, you're starting up a, you know, a competitor company over in the UK that submits 100,000 cards a year. Let us train you. Let us take we'll let you take our custom. We'll train you to do it. It's not going to happen, is it? So no one is going to be a specially trained grader like you get a PSA Beckett, unless they've worked for them. But they're not going to do that. So we need to accept the fact that people grading our cards in the UK are not graders. They're not experienced card graders, and they won't be until they've had thousands and thousands and thousands of cards pass through the system.
I was gonna say, from some of the companies out at the minute, we've seen mistakes on everyone's parts, and it's just a trial and error. I feel like these guys are going to make a lot of mistakes if it's the first time ever grading, but we are going to see it. We know we're going to see it. So I think going forward with any of these grading companies, we need to not bash them on their grading skills, because none of these are qualified. But then it also goes to what is a qualified grader.
Yeah, it's a tough line between I'm paying you money to grade my card, so I'm allowed to bash you. But then, like, we've had instances where we've got unreleased footage where things have happened, and we haven't slammed the companies online. We haven't put it out for everyone to see. We've actually said stuff to the companies like, "This has happened," or "This has happened. Do this," or "We don't like this." You need to help push these grading companies on, as opposed to, "Nah, not using them. Don't like them." If you don't like them, that's fine. Don't submit to them. That's why we've been doing what we've been doing, by submitting cards and using all these companies, so you guys don't have to. And yeah, we will submit cards to these guys. Of course we will. But slamming them on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube comments, it's not helping anyone. So we need to get behind them if we want these companies to work.
So now we're going to look through the next section, where I believe Randolph is going to be talking about the designs of the slab, the labels, and I know they've got a few exciting things for the labels. If you haven't already seen them, then I'd get prepared, because some of these are absolutely fantastic. So let's get into it.
Owner, these cards are trophy pieces, and they deserve to be shown off, and they deserve to be presented to the world as just that, trophy pieces, things that mean a lot to us. So therefore, we believe that the case, the label, needs to be attractive, it needs to be modern, and that's where Ace Grading excels from the rest. So we have completely designed, created, brainstormed, and prototyped our case from absolute scratch. We asked ourselves, and I asked myself, how do I want my card to be protected, and how do I want my card to look inside this case? One of the main things that myself and the team came up with is we want it to be transparent, and we want it to be thick. We want it to be something that you can hold, and it feels quality. At the end of the day, this is something you're going to own for many years to come. It's going to be presented, it's going to be shown off to the world, so it needs to feel good. It needs to feel of quality. And that has been our entire ethos and our entire philosophy going forward with Ace Grading. We want it to feel amazing. When you spend the money to get your card graded, we want it to be delivered back to you with, first and foremost, the utmost professionalism and care, yes, but also we want it to feel good when you open that box. And I'm happy.
So I just pause it there and look at the get a good look. So, first thoughts of Slab.
I'll let you guys go first.
I like the color scheme as it is matching the Alakazam there, and it's nice, plain and simple. But for me, I like the whose cards is it where the grade is sort of bordered off away from the rest.
CGC.
And it's in PGC, where it's in the nice little sections. I love the style of that. This to me seems a bit too bland. But I like the big text, and I do like the color scheme.
So for me, the only thing that doesn't do it for me is the fact that they have a different font to what their logo font is. So if you look at the original font from the logo, it's quite like, I don't know what, like Old English sort of font. Where this is
Roman.
It could be, that could be the case. But this is quite modern font, and I prefer this font to the logo font. Now I've seen it, and I think that's where they should go. I don't think there should be two different styles of font. I think that's where things start to get a little bit confusing, and there's a little bit too much going on at once. So I think if they can change the modern font as well on the logo, I think they could be onto a winner.
So, for me, I don't like it. Like, I really don't. Like, when I first saw this video in one of his when I first saw this image on one of his videos, I could swear that I've saw this label somewhere else. I've saw this label or something very, very similar. Now, I don't like it. You've got the font on the grade is different to the font on the card information. You've got, I don't like the big dash that's separating the grade from the card. And then if you have a look on the slab as well, can you see the little circles?
Yes.
Yeah.
So that is where the slabs have been, like mass produced, and that's the snap off points for the plastic.
Yeah.
And I don't like that. Like, if you take a look at, now you're not going to be able to see me because I'm going to be very small. If you take a look at CGC, they're crystal clear slabs as well. No, it's not like PSA where it's frosted, but you can't see any snap off points. All their snap off points are, and are down the side. And then also on Beckett, if you take a look as well, there's no snap off points. So these look premium, two very different styles. Just coincidence they've both got subgrades, but two very different styles, but they've both got that premium feel.
Yeah.
I feel like, although this is a custom slab, I think it looks very cheap still.
I think we have to take into consideration that this is a prototype, so they may have updated the production line of their slabs.
Yeah,
by the time they launch.
We can only, tell that once we've got them in our hands or final prototypes. But just from this image of what we've been seeing here, I don't like the fact you can see the snap-off points, and I'm not a fan of this label.
So I am a big fan that they have gone out and got their own custom slabs. It's not just another PSA rip-off or the slabs you can buy off Alibaba, stuff like that. Just mass-produced slabs. So fair play to them for the custom slabs, and I think that'll be a big hit in the community. It's something different. It's something fresh.
Oh yeah, 100%. I think custom slabs are needed. Everyone's using the PSA rip-off slabs. It's just, I think the finish could be a little bit better. Is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
One of the other things
I'm intrigued to know what the barcode is.
Well, this is the thing I was going to mention. That's the only thing I don't like about the label, as it reminds me of a Tesco club card, something along those lines.
Yeah.
Can you see that? PSA have got one on the front and back as well.
Oh, do they?
Oh.
Yeah.
I think that's the only thing, because if you actually look carefully at how it curves on this bit and here, but it doesn't do it at the top. And that's...
I didn't even notice that.
Just a bit inconsistent. It either needs to be... Because I understand they've done this to follow how Pokemon cards are. 100%. Yeah. They need to do it on here as well.
Top. Yeah.
And I think that is it. The little things like that are game changers. I think people notice it and then realise they're trying to follow the labels as a Pokemon card. And I think that could go a huge way for him. I'm going to stop waffling now, and we're going to get on to the rest of the design speech. So, back on with it.
We're going to do that over the next coming days and weeks, but we want to do it in a way that, leads up to it. We want to build up to that. However, as you can see, it already looks a step above the rest. And that's without showing you guys the final version, so keep your eyes peeled because... Ooh, it's exciting. And trust me, these pictures, these videos don't even do it justice. The way it feels in your hand is just when you compare it to the rest, it feels like a premium product. It really does. And now let's move on to the label, which actually goes hand in hand with the case. And the exact same philosophy we have with the case applies to the label. I'm very proud to announce that Ace Grading will offer its submitters 3 choices of labels. We have the standard label, we have the color match label, and then we have the elusive Ace label. So let's start with the standard label. Given everything I've already said in this video, we don't want our submitters, we don't want our customers to have a little label with the details of the card and just that. We want our labels, our slabs, our product as a whole to feel premium, but also look modern. So that's why our label is the way it is. We've got a dark navy, black, whatever your opinion is of this color, across the background of the card with big, thick letters to show you exactly what the card name is, the number, and the extra details of the card. We then have an entire area dedicated just to the grade itself. The first thing you look at when you look at a slab is the card, but then you look at the grade straight away. So that grade needs to be there with confidence. If you've got a Gem Mint 10, show off the fact that you've got a Gem Mint 10. If you've got a Mint 9, then yeah, again, show that off. And if you are lucky enough to score that Gem Mint 10 grade, the background of your label will be gold to just signify a little bit more elegance, a little bit more of an achievement for that grade. And from 9 down to 1, it's going to be a white background with a navy blue font. And again, the techniques and methods we use to create these labels have been developed from the ground up. Myself and the team started from scratch and built this up to be able to deliver a fast but also a consistent method of producing these labels to ensure we can still offer an accurate turnaround time. And of course, the standard label is available for every single card we offer. And now let's move on to the color match label. I can already tell the color match is going to be a fan favorite. You guys are going to absolutely love this. Essentially, it does what it says on the tin. If you choose a color match label for your card, the label will mimic or will take inspiration from the color of the card in question. So if you've got a Charmeleon, it'll be red and orange. If you have a Vaporeon, the label will be a shade of blue, as well as other prominent shades on that card. And what the color match label does is it provides a way for that specific card and that slab to stand out from the rest of your collection. So say you've got one card that is your favorite card and you want to show that card off, then maybe if you choose color match, that's a way for that card to do that. Whereas if you're collecting, 10 cards in a set or maybe 20 cards, you might want something more consistent, so you'd go for the standard label. And every color match label is unique to that card. We don't share the same color if it's a fire type. We don't share the same color if it's a grass type. It's completely unique to that card. And trust me, try it out yourself. The labels look amazing. And again, the color match label is available for every single card that we offer.
So I'm gonna save my thoughts for this at the end. I'm gonna throw it to one of you guys to take this over.
Okay, well, I'll go first. So I think it's a good idea.
You don't sound too convinced, sir.
I'm not. That's the thing. Now, it's either going to be brilliant or it's going to be tacky. There's going to be no in between. It's not going to be like, yeah, it's all right. It's going to be like, that's amazing or that's terrible. Like, every card has a different shade. Like, and also, how cost efficient is it? Because if I show you 3 different blue cards, they're all different shades of blue.
Yeah.
So is it printed on, like, manually by themselves? So they're going to have to scan every card
and color
print and color match, which how cost effective is that? Is that going to represent in the cost to us? What if you've got a rainbow rare or a full art? What color are you matching? It's one of them, isn't it? You need to see multiple different versions of it to sort of put an opinion on it. I don't like the red and orange there. I think that looks a bit...
They kind of merge into one color for me.
Yeah. Not convinced.
No, not convinced at all with that. And again, with the previous point you made with the font, it's still the same. It's different font for everything. And yet, it's big and readable, but for me, it's not standing out to me. Nothing's really standing out from that label.
Oh, this is where I'm gonna divide opinions, because for me, I think this is fantastic touch. I agree with Ben's first points that it's never going to be a like a middle ground product where some people are gonna like it, some people aren't, and it's just gonna be one of those like, yeah, we get a lot of sales through this, but not as many as we thought. I think it's either gonna be make or break this. People are gonna absolutely go mental for it, or it's gonna disappear in several months. But for me, so with my collections, I do my collections by type. I don't do it like so. All my bulk, it's all by type. It's not by set. So for me, this is brilliant because I like the color coordination. So if I wanted to, if I had a full set and I wanted to send it off for him, and I said I want each one color matched. The only downside about the color match is what Ben said. How are they going to get the exact same colors? Cost wise, that's going to be unless are they printing their own labels? That's
I mean,
something.
they must be to keep up with the production side of it.
Especially if they're offering so many label options.
Yeah.
Because
It's
they're
like-
not going to be able to order just one label.
Right. So let's get on to final label, which is the the ace grading label? I think they've called
Ace
it.
grade label, yeah.
Type, we don't share the same color as a grass type. It's completely unique to that card. And trust me, try it out yourself. The labels look amazing. And again, the color match label is available for every single card that we offer. We're now going to move on to the elusive Ace label. The Ace label is our most premium label offering, and this label is completely custom to that individual card. And it's not available for every single card. It's only available for the best, the most extravagant, and the most attractive looking cards. And as I said, the Ace label is completely custom. That means it doesn't just match the color, it matches the essence, it matches the ethos of that card. So for example, if the card has got a lot of fire in it, then the label will reflect that. The same way if it was an ice featured card, you know, that element from the ice is going to be featured in the label itself. And we're also working with the best designers out there, the best illustrators out there to really make the Ace label something premium and something that you're proud to own. And what's really cool and exciting with the Ace label is we're actually going to give the audience, you guys, the choice of what Ace labels you would want. So for example, 1 month we might run a promotion where you guys can vote for a single card that you would want to see an Ace label for, and in that instance it can be anything that you guys vote. You know, it doesn't have to be a new alternate art, special art Charizard. It could be an Ekans. You know, if you guys really wanted to, you could vote for Ekans to have a completely custom card. You know, and that way we can get the culture and we can get the actual excitement going from you guys and give you a way to kind of dictate what cards will get Ace labels, because we do want the Ace label to be reserved for either the very best cards or the fan favorite cards or cards that just stand out from the crowd. So there we go. We have the standard label, the color match label, which matches the color of that specific card, and then we have the Ace label, which is only available for certain cards. And this is something that myself and the team have worked tirelessly on, and something that we care a lot about.
Now, you see, I both love and hate this idea. I love it because look at this card here. The label is matching the background from this Umbreon EX perfectly, and I love the look of it. But the part that I don't like about this idea is, what if I have a card I think is really beautiful, like a Bulbasaur, but it doesn't qualify for an Ace label? That's what I don't like about it. So what does qualify in their mind as an Ace label quality card? That's what I don't like about this. The point that he did say though is that the community can have votes on, say, Ekans can have a special label added to the roster, but still, will people have their favorite cards in that roster from the get-go, or will they have to wait for a community vote altogether? That's what I don't really like about this. I don't know what your guys' opinions are, but I'll get into that now.
So I'm exactly the same. I really like it. However, I really like it. If I could choose that for every card, love it. That's what I'd do. However, say I've got a Luke, Groudon and Kyogre legend duo. It's going to be very hard to match the backgrounds on that. But then also, exactly what you said, what qualifies for it? Like, it's going to be the chase card from every set. that's the only card that's going to qualify, like a Charizard or
gonna say,
a
let-
Rayquaza.
Let me just find just some random, just standard cards, because obviously some people don't just grade their high value cards. Some people have the favorite cards. Like I've sent a lot of my Neo Genesis starters to the grading companies. No, I know they're not going to get good grades, but I just want them slabbed up for me.
So,
And
like your Chikorita, I don't think that would qualify for one of these labels. And for me, I'd want it to, because that's what, like, for you, your Chikorita, that's what your like favorite card for your grade. You send it off to get graded because you love that card. For you, it's a beautiful card, but for them, it might not qualify for this.
Yes, no, that's exactly what I get. I was trying to find. Can you remember the Morpeko cards from Shiny Fates? It had 2 different ones.
Yes.
To me, that is the sort of card that should have its own.
Yes, I agree.
Just because of no, not that. You know, just
the normal Morpekos.
The common or uncommon. I don't know what it is. It's a background. It's carrying the fruit, and I think it's got 2 other Pokemon. To me, that should be one of the cards just for the artwork. Like, to me, that artwork was unbelievable, and that's something I'd love for these guys to be able to do. And I think it's going to be hard for them, because what if there might be someone down the line who thinks the so what if someone wanted, I don't know, they've got a Squirtle from base set, or a Charmander from base set, or a Bulbasaur from base set. How are they gonna replicate that onto the back? They're like the 3 main cards that everybody wants, and
it's only going to be able to be full arts.
That's what I mean. He didn't clarify if it's full arts, secret rares, gold cards, rainbow rares. Like what does qualify?
Yeah,
I'd like to see a sort of list of what kind of cards would qualify, or like what category they have to tick to be able to qualify for this label.
They do remind me of something that they should maybe not bring to market, but use it for, such as charity events, that sort of thing. Yeah, I think it's a brilliant idea, and I think if they could nail it, then fair play. Like, I think it'd be fantastic. I think it's too hard to be able to offer people. Like you said, we might all have different ideas and think that a reverse holo could work. They could follow the same pattern, but would they do that for, just say you wanted to send in 50 reverse holos? Would they do that? It's a hard thing, but if they can get this right and people have got the say into it, what they want to see, and they sit there and say, yeah, we'll do that, fair play. This will be a huge hit. So now we're on Ben's favourite part of any grading company. We know he's a big security fan, so we'll get into it, and Ben, you can start off the discussion.
What about the security features that our labels have to offer? And this is something that myself and the team have worked tirelessly on, and something that we care a lot about. So first and foremost, every single one of our ACE grading labels has the actual certification card number on the card, and that's a completely unique number to that card itself. We also have that certification number represented in a barcode for those of you who like to scan and database your cards. As well as the barcode and the certification number, we have, of course, a QR code, a unique QR code on every single label, that if you scan, it takes you to our website where you can verify the card details, the amount of cards that exist in a certain grade, and everything else about that card itself. However, the security doesn't stop there. That is just the tip of the iceberg. On the front and back of our ACE grading labels, we have a gold foil print, and on the reverse, we have our logo there in holographic foil. On the white strips on the front and back of the label design, you have tiny micro text that is actually invisible ink, so you can only see that with a UV light, and the logos are repeated and positioned in a way that is hard to replicate. The feature that we're the most proud of on this label is the security label right here. We've been working with the manufacturer of this label right here to deliver the most secure label in the world. Our security label is produced by a company called Cytheme. Cytheme is an internationally recognized anti-counterfeiting solution working in such industries as pharmaceuticals, food and beverages, and now card security. The benefit of implementing Cytheme is that each label creates a chemically unique signature that is impossible to replicate and guarantees authenticity of every ACE graded card. Submitters can scan each slab using their phone via our Cytheme integration to first of all guarantee authenticity, but also to provide details of that specific card. In short, each security label is unique to each collectible. This is the highest form of security in the card grading industry. Of course, with all of this, more details to follow on the rest of our social pages and also the ACE grading channel, so go and subscribe, go and follow to all of those. I'm gonna keep saying that, but that's what we do. We promote, we plug, and yeah. So we've spoken about the authentication and the grading of the card. We've spoken about the case and the label. However, it doesn't stop there.
So I wasn't very impressed with security features until they said about this chemically based what you can see on screen, this circle, because QR codes can be replicated, barcodes can be programmed and replicated, the same as QR codes, serial numbers. You know, if you saw a card that you want to replicate, all you need to do is replicate the serial number because it's in front of you. But I'm interested about this chemically based security logo, because if only one company makes it and they're exclusive to this company, you're not going to be able to just buy some off AliExpress or eBay or anything like that. So I'm interested to know more about the security side of it.
Going forward, the security side is not really my strong suit. It's not something I really look into. I should really look into it a bit more, but I am looking forward to hearing what Ben will tell us when they've brought more info out about the security parts. Like I say, it's straight over my head. I just smile and wave and pretend I know what he's saying, but deep down I'm not got a clue. So we're going to move on to the next part, which is going to be prices and the turnaround times, I believe.
Yeah.
Yes. So let's get into it.
As well as our state-of-the-art submission system, we also have a state-of-the-art allocation system. And what this allocation system actually does is automatically opens and closes certain service levels depending on our capacity. One thing that we've been working really hard on at Ace Grading is figuring out our actual capacity at any given time, obviously with hopes to grow that every single day. Our goal is to keep our estimated turnaround times as accurate as possible. So if we start receiving submissions and we start reaching the point of capacity at Ace Grading, what we'll do, or what the system will do automatically and seamlessly, is pause that service level. So for example, standard will be paused if we reach the capacity or we reach close to the capacity. And then again, automatically, if we release 2,000 cards and send them back to our customers, the system will automatically open that service level for that amount of cards. So our service levels are always pausing and starting depending on our capacity. And while it's our job to make sure that we're always scaling and we're always growing the company, we feel that doing this and offering this system to you guys is a way to be transparent and give you an accurate idea on what our service is looking like, which we believe is a better way than just closing and shutting our doors. Instead, we want to have a revolving door system where we're always open and closing depending on our capacity. And again, I can't stress this enough, it works automatically. If one of our service levels, say for example standard, is closed, in an hour or two, it might be open again. So it's always moving and it's always growing and it's always learning and letting you guys know the current capacity. And all of this ties in to our dedication to customer service and transparency. With Ace Grading, I can confidently inform you guys that you will receive top-notch customer service, industry standard customer service and beyond. We've built our customer service system from the ground up. We're gonna have an extensive FAQ and knowledge base section on our website with a ticket system in place to allow us to get back to you, while at the same time our dashboarding system will give you a complete live update of your order progress throughout the entire service from start until finish. As well as all that, we want to dedicate ourselves to transparency and social media. So not only is our customer service team going to be there to assist you, we are also going to be here on social media to give you that comfort and those updates that you need when you're using a service like Ace Grading. And that is something that I am personally going to be pushing every single day of the week, every single minute of the hour. Social media, transparency, and just an insight into Ace Grading as a whole. Because we really want Ace Grading to be community driven, and that goes from our label designs to our customer service and to our service as a whole. We want you to be involved, and yeah, that's something that I am personally going to be heading in this company. Hopefully you're at the point now after watching this video where you're really excited for Ace Grading. Oh wow, what a great service. I can't wait to send my cards. However, I bet it's going to cost a fortune. I bet with all of these incredible features, the case, the label, the state-of-the-art submission and allocation system. But no, I'm very happy to announce that to get a single card graded with Ace Grading, it will only cost £10. And that'll be for our bulk service, which will be an estimated 60 days turnaround. From day one, we're also going to be offering our submitters a standard service, which will be £15 per card, but for a 30 days of estimated turnaround. We will be offering express and even faster services as we go. However, to ensure that we can grade as many of your cards as possible from day one, we're going to be only offering bulk and standard. But yeah, very quickly into the service, we'll offer the express services as well. There's also going to be a limit of 60 cards per submission straight away, just to ensure, again, as many of you guys can try out our service as possible. We are also going to be exclusively grading just Pokemon cards for the time being, because at the end of the day, that's where our expertise lies, and we want to make sure we can deliver a strong service for Pokemon. But we do have plans to rapidly scale into other TCGs as well. And also at launch, we are only going to be available in the UK for now. However, we already have partners in place in the US and the EU, creating an effective service in each of those regions with no compromise to the UK service. So whether you're in the US, in the EU or UK, we want to make sure and ensure that you get the same level of service no matter where you're from. For someone like myself, grading cards with companies in America is difficult. It really is difficult. So we want to make sure that we are the same service in the UK as we are for the US and the EU. So we're going to have dedicated service teams and staff members for each region. But for launch, Pokemon and UK for now. I'm also very happy to announce that Ace Grading will be open for submissions very, very soon.
So one of the biggest points of this video is prices and turnaround times, and as Randolph said, it'll be £10 for the 60-day service and £15 for the 30-day service. And from my side, from what I've seen so far, the £15 service I would happily pay time and time again. For a 30-day turnaround, I don't think that's bad at all. I'm interested to see the express side when they finally announce that, what the price will be on them. I feel like they will be a bit overpriced, and especially after a couple of months, because I know these guys are going to be flooded with submissions. If they can stick to the 30-day turnaround time, £15. What are your guys' thoughts on the whole prices and turnaround times?
I think it's very fair. It's very reasonable pricing and fairly decent turnaround times for what you're paying for. I would be intrigued to know how much it would cost to have one of the color match labels. What is the added cost of one of those?
Yeah, it doesn't go into it.
He hasn't gone into that just yet. I'd be very intrigued to know how much it would cost if it would take it up to the £10 would then be £15 for a color match, and then the 15 would be a £20 for a color match. I think that would be fairly reasonable, but it depends on what the production side of it takes and costs.
Yeah.
So I would be intrigued to know that. Other than that, I think it's fairly fair pricing.
Yeah, I think there's other things we need to, like James said, with the different labels and stuff like that. But £15 for 30 days is fine. You got postage to include in that as well. So I think, yeah, overall, you can't really moan at them prices or turnaround times.
So all in all, we've looked at the key points. We've looked at the turnaround times, the prices, the slabs, the labels, the logo, who's grading, anything else that I can reel off there? But
no.
Overall,
yeah.
What do you think to this? Like, I know it's going to have changes and effects in places such as how are the other UK grading there. Do we think these guys are going to be here for the next, as Randolph says, he wants to be here for the next 50 plus years? Do we reckon they can hit those sort of levels? Give me a quick little rundown before we wrap things up.
I think we need to see more. We need to see, what the final product is. We need to submit to them before we can round any of that up. I think we need to have some in hand and check them inside and out before we can say, yeah, use them. No, don't. I think get some cards submitted off to them when they open and hopefully show you guys what they're like and give our thoughts then.
Yeah, completely agree with Ben there.
Oh, yeah, so that is it for ace grading for today. Hopefully we get to send some cards off pretty soon. So as James said, if you aren't already, please make sure you are subscribed to the channel, because as soon as we can submit some cards off, we'll go through the submission process and then go through the returns process, as we always do with every other UK grading company. So yeah, I know it's been a bit of a longer video today, guys, but we felt like we had to go through the key points in this one. But yeah, thank you for watching, and we shall see you next week.
Take care, guys.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye.